Today we start modding the BRZ. And if you guys watch our last video, you'll know that we've got a pretty high benchmark into making this car feel as close as it can to my 997 GT3. Now, I know modding's exciting, but I don't want to oversell this video. We're not throwing on a turbo kit or supercharger or awesome two-way suspension, crazy aero mods. We're going to be taking steps to get it closer to the GT3, but this series is going to be more about baby steps. Not everyone's got 20K to drop in supporting mods on their car right away, so let's take our time and really get to know this BRZ. These mods I like to call livability mods. Mods that are just going to make your life better living with this car day to day or when it's time to work on the car. Since we're going to be working on this car pretty often, I feel this first mod's a must-have. Varus Engineering pinch weld pucks. These slick little anodized pieces of aluminum will protect those flimsy pinch welds. If you've been messing with cars as long as I have, you guys all know that these pinch welds get gnarly after years of jacking the car up and down over and over again. Also, this gives your jack a much safer and secure spot to lift from than that flimsy little strip of metal that's holding up a couple thousand pounds. This next mod we didn't really have to do, but these JDM clear side markers replace those hideous orange side markers that are placed on USDM marker cars. The JDM side markers give it a much cleaner look that I love, so why not install these? These next mods don't actually have anything to do with the GT3, but they're more about being seen while you're on the road. That light on the bottom there is actually empty in US market cars. In JDM market cars or European market cars, there's a light in there because they have fog light regulations. Since it's empty, we decided to throw in a light there, and it's actually working as a running light with your tail lights right now. But we added one more functionality to make that a brake light as well. This next simple mod has been done to a light that's already installed on the car. That center mount trunk light is actually a brake light from the factory. But with this simple module, we've changed it into an F1 style blinking brake light. That blinking should get the attention of distracted drivers, letting them know that you're slowing down. And since we were already messing with that fourth brake light mod, we thought, why not change out these dull OEM halogen bulbs for the reverse lights as well? We switched them up to LED reverse light bulbs just to make them so much brighter, ensuring that everybody knows you're backing up. For our BRZ, with all of these carbon accent pieces installed, I think it rounds out the interior really well and makes it just a bit more special when I get into this car every day.
Getting rid of this hood prop and doing some proper hood struts. Don't want to forget to grease your balls.
This next mod should have been installed from the factory. That OEM hood prop is cheap and inexpensive and needed to go. These hood struts are pneumatic and help lift your hood up and hold it there for you every single time that you need to pop the hood to work on your car. Oh yeah, our first performance modification, the Infinity Designs carbon intake. Let's actually hop in the car and let's talk about performance. Yeah, let's talk about that performance now. We finally talk about performance with these mods. Because that's what we're here for, right? That's what we're trying to do. We're trying to get that feel and that performance and that experience for this BRZ to get closer to that GT3. And I can confidently say that both of these products are adding to that for us and putting us in the right direction for this BRZ. The Infinity Designs intake, let's talk about that. I've lived with this for about 300 miles now, this intake. I've said it in Kevin's video that day to day, this intake doesn't even feel like it's really there. You stay under the 25-30% mark for throttle and you're not really hearing a bunch of induction noise. Car feels pretty much stock essentially on that day-to-day drive, and I think that's great. It's when you really crack open the throttle and get past that 40% mark or so that you really start to hear the induction noise and really feel that throttle response, torque and horsepower gain from this intake. And I think that's awesome because it's not going to bother you day to day, and when you open it up, you know that you've done something to the car to make that experience better. It's got that dual personality, that balance that I'm looking to find for a good, fun, day-to-day car that doesn't annoy you, but can turn up when you're in the canyons or doing that spirited driving. I really think that parts that find that balance and give you the best of both worlds are worth it. They command a high dollar amount, but that's because they're very well engineered and they tick a lot of boxes. And now, thanks to Kevin, who's done the dyno videos on this Infinity Designs intake, we know that this intake is making power, making real power. 6-ish horsepower, wheel horsepower up top, in the top end, you know, peak horsepower numbers, 6 to 7 wheel torque as well. But that's not the full story. When you look at the power band, when you look at the entire RPM range, and you see the delta between the OEM intake and the Infinity Designs intakes, that's really where you start to see the story and see how much performance you're actually gaining. Because in the mid-range, you're also gaining about 8 to 10 wheel horsepower and 8 to 10 wheel torque. And having that additional power all the way through that usable power band makes the car faster. It makes it faster than a car that, let's say, is, you know, making 15 wheel horsepower at the peak numbers, but in the mid-range, it's not really gaining much. You're not really going to feel that peak horsepower. You're going to feel the delta between the two parts through the power band. And that, I think, is fantastic. That really means that this thing is performing at all levels, and that's what you're paying for. So, great work from Infinity Designs. This thing is a well-engineered, well-designed intake that checks a lot of boxes, and I'm really, really enjoying this on the BRZ. Let's get a little bit of decel with that axle back installed. Not much drone on decel until you really get down into the lower RPM range. And a nice tone and nice volume of sound as you're driving through the RPM range there. It's a really nice sound. It's not overbearing, it's not too much. You know it's there when you get on it, but again, on that day-to-day drive, you're not really getting much other than that little bit of drone on decel. And again, this is just a touch of drone. We're talking about 400 to 500 RPM range, about 2,500 to 3,000, 3,100 RPM range is where you're getting that drone on decel, and it is very minimal. I've got old man ears. I'm pretty sensitive to that stuff, and I won't live with an exhaust that drones that much. And this one, again, there is a touch. I can't lie to you guys, but it is not bad at all. And for the most part, you're just getting a good volume and good tone out of this axle back. The tone change is really good. It makes the exhaust note much deeper, which is a good thing. It's much deeper and sounds more aggressive, while again not giving you that crazy amount of drone or a ton of cabin noise that other options may give you. If we've removed that whole big OEM stock muffler and replaced it with, you know, 2 titanium pipes and a couple small resonator mufflers. So really we're not getting much you know, sound deadening from that. But because we didn't replace anything else from the cat back, we are only getting the right amount of volume change. So I used to be in the camp of not understanding axle backs, because I was always like, well, if you're going to spend the money, why not get the cat back? Go ahead and save a little bit more and get the cat back to get the larger diameter piping and also remove the factory muffler. But as I've gotten older, I've understood that there is value here, because for one, you get a ton of weight loss. They're likely, the axle backs are likely less expensive than a cat back, because obviously you're getting less material. And 3, it's pretty simple to install. I mean, yes, a cat back is pretty simple as well, but the axle back we're talking about is a couple hangers and 2 bolts. Like, super simple. I'm pretty sure we got this installed in about 30-40 minutes, and the thing sounds great. We've lost a lot of weight, and honestly, if you don't want to do anything else to the exhaust system, this is the perfect amount of volume, great tone, and minimal drone. So yeah, that's what you're paying for, is making sure you're hitting all those boxes and you're getting a great product that sounds good and drops a lot of weight and also does not annoy you on that day-to-day drive. And I keep harping on that, is not ruining your car on that day-to-day drive. Because man, I have done that on so many cars, and it's really disappointing, because it's a car that you obviously love, you've spent your hard-earned money on it, and you've spent even more modifying it, and then you ruin it. And what is the point in ruining it? If you're going to drive the car day to day and be miserable, you're doing it wrong. You're just doing it wrong. Get it out there and drive the car and enjoy it. And there are parts that will amplify that spirited drive without compromising your day-to-day drive. And really, that's what you're paying for. And I think these 2 parts, the Infinity Designs intake and the Compressive Tunings titanium axle back, have really knocked it out of the park for this car at this stage. Let's talk about the negatives a bit. I know that I'm pretty positive about a lot of my reviews and things that I say. If you guys have seen other videos that I've been in, I think you guys can kind of tell that I focus a lot on the positives. Overall, I'm a pretty positive guy, but we have to talk about the negatives. I have to bring that up and try to pick some things out. Number 1 is pretty obvious. I've read your guys' comments on Kevin's video regarding the price of this intake. Yes, it is expensive. $1,100, no matter how you cut it, is a big chunk of change. That is literally the only negative for this intake. I get it. It's a $35,000 car, and you're just putting an $1,100 intake on it, and you're getting, you know, 6 to 10 horsepower. That is not a very good value per horsepower equation there. But again, you're talking about a lot of engineering that's going into this, that beautiful carbon fiber design. It's that statement piece inside the engine bay. And again, you are getting power and performance. There's not many other intakes that are doing that for you on the market. And there's other intakes out there that, you know, you guys are spending money on, and they're not giving you anything but sound. So, you know, there's an argument there as well. But I do agree with you guys, $1,100 is a healthy hunk of change. So this is definitely for a certain type of individual that is looking for that whole package wrapped up into one, and obviously is willing to spend a bit of money for that. The same can be said about the axle back. It is a small titanium piece. Obviously titanium is a little bit more expensive, but still, it's just 2 Y pipes, and I believe the MSRP on this is almost $800. I think it's like $795 or something like that. So we're talking about $800 for an axle back system that doesn't even change the mid pipe, and you're likely not getting any performance out of this. Maybe a couple wheel horsepower, sure, but really that's going to be marginal at the end of the day. But at the same time, same argument, it's a great sound, minimal drone, great tone, nice volume, really makes the driving experience that much more enjoyable. So at the end of the day, for $800, and every time that you're turning the, or not turning the key, but hitting the push button start, and putting your foot down into that gas pedal, I don't know, I'm still smiling. Is this an $800 smile? I don't know. I mean, I'd put $1,000, $2,000 onto that smile, because that is a great sound and a lot of fun and connectivity with the car that you're getting with these modifications. So again, I get it, guys. It's not for everybody. It is expensive, and you want to spend your money wisely. Maybe these parts aren't for you, but we were going to test a bit more, so hopefully you guys get a well-rounded experience, and I can experience as well, because it's been a while for me with modifying these cars, and I want to learn with you guys, obviously with the parts that we're changing out on this particular Generation 2 BRZ. I just want to talk about the interior bits, the carbon bits that we had installed on the BRZ, and it's very nice. I enjoy the carbon. It looks good inside. It brightened things up. It really breaks up all of just that single black color that everything is in. My GT3, same thing. The interior overall, very black, very dark. Simple, elegant, it's good, but the carbon, again, breaks that up. It makes it look cooler, makes it be a little more interesting, and that's exactly what it's doing in this BRZ. So I really like it. I think the pieces work well together. I feel like I didn't go overboard, but the pieces that I've chosen tie everything in together. You know, it kind of goes right across this eye line here on the dash, and then there's a couple pieces on the shifter tunnel and the shift boot itself. And yeah, that's looking really nice, guys. Again, it brightens things up, makes it a bit more interesting, and that, who doesn't like a little carbon fiber? Little quick sponsored ad here, guys. We are having our spring sale going on right now, where all Driven Media products are on sale. Most products are going to be 10%. We've got some of our best sellers at 15% on the Driven Media website. Again, a little sponsored ad for the channel, guys. The best way to support this channel is to go on the Driven Media website and do a little shopping for yourselves. We are adding to the product assortment daily, and we hope to have a lot of options for BRZ, GR86, GR Corolla, WRX owners on that website. So go over there, pick some stuff up while it's on sale right now. And that's the end of our sponsored message. Well guys, I am really enjoying the modifications we've done to the BRZ. The car is performing and feeling better as we took a bit of a baby step towards the GT3. Honestly, if we stopped here, we've already got a fantastic driving car that hasn't been ruined. But of course, what would be the fun in stopping here? I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and if you haven't yet, please subscribe to the channel so you can follow along as we make more changes to the BRZ. We've got a lot more planned, and we're looking forward to getting the car out on the track soon. Until then, I hope you guys have a good rest of your day, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace. Don't need this thing anymore. Almost hit the porch. It went right under it.
No way.
Yeah, it like bounced and then just slid underneath it. It's all the way up here.
Oh,
But it just slid all the way. Whatever. Hopefully we got it.